So folks, it has not stopped raining now for 4 days, putting a big cramp on my metal detecting. So I thought I'd go over some of the ways that I find locations to go metal detecting, and maybe you'll find a few helpful hints in here to help you out. The first one is, a lot of times when I'm out riding, I'll take a different route home and I may see a real estate sign. Now if it's a house that's older, maybe built in the 50s or older, I'll take the number down off the sign and call the realtor. You may think that's crazy, but I'm telling you, at least, I don't know, maybe 40% of the times I'll get a yes. And it never hurts to call. And if it's the same realtor that gave you a thumbs up on the next house, he may be willing to let you go back again. Sometimes they have to check with the owner. But it's worth checking. Let me show you why. Here's an example. Driving home, I saw this house up for sale, called the realtor, got a call back in about 20 minutes and got permission to search. I called Simon from the Wheatie Boys, and boy, we killed it. Simon actually found 24 Wheaties just out in the front yard. Good times digging at that old house, and that was just from a phone call. Here's another house pretty much in the same area. Found some really neat items right there. 2 rings as well and a bracelet. Had a good time, and silver. And I got to tell you, this is the best one I ever got. I called Brandon Carmichael. We hit this house built, I think it was 1918. And folks, I dug 2 Morgan dollars up under a stump. It was amazing. And that was on a permission from a real estate sign. And then I went back with a master digger, man. We tore it up and he ended up finding that nice token, man. Way to go. Well, that was the first tip. Give it a try. You have nothing to lose. When I'm out riding around, I will always check out the curb. That will tell you a lot about the house. Let me tell you what I mean. Let me show you a couple of examples right here. So take a good look at the curb. If it looks sort of modern, this is pretty modern right here. Compared to this, you can tell this is an old style curb. There's another one right there. So take a good look at those. That will help give you an indication of the age of the property that you're going to be looking in. Or if it's a curb strip, you want to get around those curbs that you know are pretty old. That's another good way when you're driving around, spot those curbs. Speaking of driving around, here's a good tip. As a retired cop, 32 years, you learn when you're going home always to take a different route home. A couple of reasons. Safety, you don't want to be followed. Number 2, you want to learn the neighborhood, different areas that you're in. And the only way you're going to do that is to take different routes. Well, that is a great tip. To this day, when I'm out driving, even though I can go from point A to B and know how to get there, I'll take a different route, zigzag through a neighborhood. You may see a sidewalk getting tore out, a different area, one of those real estate signs. You just never know. So always take a different route, and that will help you also see some new spots. Here's another tip. On a Saturday, if I'm out riding around, I see a garage sale, I'll stop. Maybe I'll find something, a good deal. But if it's an older house and it looks pretty good, I'll ask the owner, can I metal detect your yard? In fact, I'll tell them, you can keep whatever I find. I just want to look around. I want to have a good time digging, and sometimes they say yes. So if you have a garage sale going on in your neighborhood or somewhere else, stop and ask. You're already there. You've already made contact with the owner, so you're halfway there. Ask them if you can metal detect their property. Wow, how can I forget this, guys? That Garrett vintage detector, I found it at a garage sale. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Now, this is a good one. I got this tip from Rob Rizzo, the History Digger. Check his channel out. He's got a great YouTube channel on metal detecting, and he covers a lot of different things. Rob come up with this idea of giving them a flyer. He's got a nice flyer. I took a look at his and made one. Here's what mine looks like. And if I'm out and, like I said, if it's a garage sale or I'm just riding around and I do a knock on a door, I'll give them this flyer. It makes you legit. It gives you a purpose. You're a professional. So talk to them. It's just a good way to start talking and introduce yourself. Lets them know you're legit. It's got your name, your phone number, and you can put pictures of some of your finds on there as well to show them what they may be able to keep. Let them keep something. I usually let them keep whatever they want, if they give me permission to dig on their property. Great tip from Rob Rizzo, the history digger. Boy, this next tip I hate to give out, but I'm that kind of guy. I just want you to be the best you can be. I always look for a church that has a grass parking lot. Honestly, guys, I've never had a church say no. I usually call and get a hold of the pastor and ask if I can metal detect their property. And even take the change that I find and leave it on a step or somewhere, for the church to have. I just do it because it's a good place. Think about all the kids that have money in their pocket, their ties, and all the women with their jewelry and earrings. Man, they're just great places to look. One church recently, I found 2 rings, vintage rings, in the grass lot as well. So here's a video. Check this out. I found this church on the way back from a organized metal detecting event. Got permission from the pastor and, well, just watch the video.
Oh, sweet Lord, thank you. You know what that is? It appears to be a trigger guard. There's a trigger. Oh, look at that. Oh, thank you, Lord. God, I hope it's not broke. These things are so easy to break. Oh, that is freaking nice. Oh, little cap gun. Oh, love it. That is awesome.
Another church, check out what I find right here in this lot.
Guys, looks like a piece of gold. It's a little gold cross. Oh my goodness. That is beautiful. Oh, it's marked on the back. I gotta clean this up. Holy shamoly. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful with the church in the background. Sweet Lord.
I give you all my tips. There won't be anything left for me to find. You'll get it all, but that's okay. I want you to be successful. Here's a great one. Check with your local historical society, museum, anywhere in your community. They are awesome to give you great tips. I went to the one in Fort Meade, ended up with a couple of other locations. I even found a nice sterling silver spoon and donated it to the museum in Fort Meade. So every community usually has something. Stop in and check. We'll have some old books, photographs. Check out the old locations. I guarantee you, you'll end up with a sweet spot, maybe permission from one of the volunteers working there. So check that out, your local historical society. Here's one I think a lot of people use. It's fairly easy. It's a lot better to use on a desktop or a laptop, but that's your Google Maps. And with that, you can see right there, you can zoom in on some properties and look for, playgrounds, parks, different areas that you may have missed on your different travels back and forth to work or for pleasure. So Google Maps, excellent tool. There's a lot of different other map services you can use as well. Sometimes you can really get good with these and really go back in time with them and check some of the older maps. It's just excellent. There's a church right there. Now, I remember this. This is like 3 weeks ago. I was looking for this church and I found this little church out in the middle of nowhere. So again, it's an excellent tool to use when you're looking for some property. Now, if you want to pick up some coins and hone in your skills, try some of your local parks. Great places as well, and some of the different field sporting events. Look behind the fence. That's a lot of times where people will sit in a chair, the change falls out, And you can do actually pretty good at some of these spots, and it will help you learn the different programs of your metal detector as well. Well, if you're fairly new to metal detecting, you've been struggling trying to find those locations, I hope this video helped you out. I hope you got a few tips out of it. If you did, really appreciate it. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what was your favorite tip if you learned anything new. And as always, guys, I will see you out there on that next dig.